Hey YouTube, what's up? Doing a review on the BC Rich Warlock Platinum Edition from the 80s, during the Class Acts, when they owned or operated the BC Rich line of guitars. The reason for this review is I've been reading a lot of internet, forums and stuff like that about this guitar, and a lot of the stuff out there about it is misinformation. And just want to kind of get the facts out there and debunk a lot of the myths and lies and just bullshit about the guitar that I think is just kind of hindering it, but helping someone like me who likes a good deal. But I got this guitar for $100 on eBay last week. I didn't really know much about it. I do have other BC Rich guitars, some of the newer ones, made in Korea, and I've owned dozens of guitars of all makes and models, and you name it. And I have, if you look over here, I got whole whole room full of guitars. I got a LTD EC1000, a Washburn Taboo series, also Korean made, a BC Rich Deluxe V, made in Mexico, Fender Strat, and yeah, pretty much just kind of lower end model guitars. But I've had all kinds. I've had Gibson Explorer, Les Paul, G&L, Legacy, Washburn, US made Nuno Betancourt Signature, lots of guitars. So just don't go into this thinking, here's this guy who's never played another guitar in his life. One of the things, or there's a few things out there about this guitar that people are saying is made out of plywood. It's not made out of plywood. It's a solid piece of elder. Saying the hardware is cheap. I wouldn't call it cheap, but I wouldn't call it high end either. I would say it's a kind of a mid-level hardware, and I think a good mid-level foreign guitar, just like the LTDs, the higher end LTDs, or the other Korean-made guitars nowadays. So, with all that, let's take a look at the guitar and kind of get a hands-on. This is it right here. BC Rich Platinum. I don't know if you can see it. And then has a locking nut there, Floyd Rose type, older style, collar type. 24 frets. I can't really tell what this fretboard is made out of. It looks like, I want to say it's ebony, but yeah, I would have to say it's a harder, darker wood. I would have to say it's an ebony fretboard. The pickups, I'm not really impressed with them. They're kind of just a regular mid-level pickup, I'm assuming. I did take them out to see if there was any markings or anything on them. There's no markings on them, so they're probably just some no-name pickups, humbuckers. It has a volume, tone, three-way, and then a coil split. And the bridge is kind of, I would say it's like the collar, what was it, fulcrum? I would say it's more like that than anything else, and then it's got the single lock down on the head and the neck there, and the strings go in the back just like that. And then this is kind of just your regular that cheap metal shit, like every other bridge, except for the higher end Floyd Roses and that. The tuning pegs down here, not sure if you can read that, but they are Gotos. And those are, even today they're on the higher end ESP guitars. Now we're gonna get down to the cavity here. Looks like just regular cheapo kind of wiring, but it has the coil split 3-way. Has 250K pots. I'm not sure why. You would think it would have 500, but I'm thinking it has something to do with that coil split, is my guess. And then if you look here at the wood, you can see where the neck grain is parallel with the body. You can really see that neck grain in there. And a lot of people will say, well, that doesn't really prove it that it's not a plywood guitar. So busted out my handy Dremel and shaved off some of the inside here of the paint, and as you can see, there's no layers of plywood in there. You can really see the grain. I'll try and focus on that. You can see the wood grain. So yeah, that proves that it's not a plywood guitar like a lot of people say it is. It is pretty heavy though, but it stays, I got nice decent low action here. This is really smooth. The edges of the frets here, they're really smooth. As to where a lot of other times, especially with like a Mighty Mite necks. I don't know if you guys have ever used a Mighty Mite neck, but they're a licensed Fender parts company, and their necks, I bought one time, and the whole edges of the frets, they're like just sharp, and it was just leaving cuts, little scratches and cuts in my fingers. So yeah, I would say this is really nice quality. I mean, you can just nice and shiny and really, really cool. So yeah, I think a lot of people that want to talk crap about this guitar probably never owned one, or they're just going by what everybody else said rather than getting their hands on one and playing it. And I would just say the quality is right up there next to even today's foreign made guitars. The pots aren't scratchy. Nothing's bad on this guitar at all. The only complaints that I would have, I think just the pickups really, I don't know, kind of, they're kind of lacking, I guess, in the sound that I guess that I would want it to have. But I don't know how much of, yeah. Well, I guess we'll try turning it on here and we can hear it. Got my Snooki sticker. Yeah, look at that. That was from my daughter. She insisted that I have it on. Got a little bit of delay going on right now. A little rusty. Put a little, take the delay off here. Trying to even out the sound a little bit, took the bass out down on the amp. took care of that. I guess that's about it. Sorry for the shitty plan. Wasn't really warmed up, but yeah, that's my review. And get your facts straight before you go run your mouth about shit that you don't know nothing about. Peace.